Let's do it. So, Stephen runs several ventures. He's got how many companies do you have under several ventures now at this point?
11.
11. So, one of the things that I get most excited about, and I feel like I battle back and forth with this idea every single day, is like, should I go and start 20 different companies over the next
Mhm.
10 years? Because I know that, like, from my interests and like just my boredom, and I get bored on one thing very quickly, like, that's the most fun thing for me. Now, you talk to other people who are like running these like billion-dollar companies, and they're like, no, actually, like, the best thing that you can do is go all in on one thing and make like that one thing your core focus. I'd love to kind of know your thought process around starting several and the like just generally the idea behind starting several businesses at once. Like, where's your head at with that whole concept?
Yeah. So the quick history is I grew up with a dad that did three things. So, nonprofit, for profit, and he was actually a pastor. And so I thought that was normal. I thought every dad had like multiple jobs. And I talked to my friend's dad that was a surgeon. I was like, "What else do you do?" He's like, "What do you mean? What else do I do?"
What else do
Yeah, I, I fix people's bodies. That's enough.
I?
So I just grew up with that concept, and I thought it was really cool. And I was talking about systems and efficiency and delegation when I was like 8. So um,
The coolest
I
8-year-old around.
well, I don't know about that, but I definitely learned a lot from my dad. And so I also wanted to invest in other people. It wasn't, when I think about business, it's not all about self gain. And so, how can I help other people do that? I decided to pursue building multiple companies with other people as a means of helping people take that leap. Like my addiction is helping people leave corporate to start a company and help them believe in themselves. So that's a key thing too, as in all those 11 businesses. I'm not highly operational in all 11 businesses, just to clarify. So that's also part of it. Is I don't think you should start 20 businesses that you're highly operational, and that's not really possible.
What are some of the specific pros and cons there, right? Because again, I think the double-edged sword of being an entrepreneur is we all have shiny object syndrome. We all want to start a million things. Frequently, the advice is, hey, if you want to be really, really successful, go all in on
Yep.
one. You've obviously bridged that gap really well of being really successful in multiple, but I'm assuming you must have seen some trade-offs either in terms of, maybe you're not at the scale you want to be, but you
Yes.
have, better home life, or you're just happier. What does that specifically look like in terms of, some of the trade-offs you've taken, but I'm assuming that are probably worth it?
Yeah, two things coming to mind. One is I've just become satisfied with going slower. I know that if I only focus on one business and I worked 90 hours a week, that business could be absolutely crushing it. But I've become okay with going slower. And then also, what are you optimizing for? If you want to optimize for wealth creation, focus on one business, go unicorn route, go public, like absolutely. I optimize more so for balance between family and business and friendship and hobbies and that sort of thing. And so I've kind of gravitated this route where I don't ever want to take a business public. I haven't ever raised money. I haven't needed to. And so that's just the game I'm playing.